over, and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. We'll get to the promised land. We'll get to the promised land.
Romans killing riotous groups that are rising up.
As I turned around quickly, and the next thing I saw was Malcolm falling back in a dead faint.
Killing any potential threat, any potential messiah.
Dr. King left his room, 306, at the Lorraine Hotel just before dinner to get some air. He walked over to the railing at this spot, and noticing some friends below, he leaned over and began to speak with them. Police say 205 feet away, in a window in a flop house, the assassin waited.
Killing any potential threat, any potential messiah.
And Rob, some call that deadly raid the massacre on Monroe Street. Black Panther leaders Fred Hampton and Mark Clark were killed. Fred Hampton and Mark Clark were killed. Fred Hampton and Mark Clark were killed.
Right? Now look at these. I'm telling you, I gotta show y'all. A picture speaks 1,000 words. Just look for yourself. And this is the creme de la creme. All praises be to the Most High, y'all. Everything we've been through, y'all, the Most High is going to retribute it on all the nations that have had a hand in the oppression of his apple, the apple of his eye, his chosen people, his beloved, his fervent lover, his only begotten. They're going to have their part in the lake of fire. You see them tormented by some kind of creature. I don't even know what that even is, y'all. Judgment in chains. He that led into captivity shall go into captivity. All praise to the Most High, y'all. It said, thou that dwells in the clefts of the rock. Whoa, I know a lot of y'all know about the Caucasus Mountains. Let's just let the words speak. Let's go to verse 4. Though you exalt yourself as the eagle, and though you set thy nest among the stars. And ethnicity is a cult? What's up, Zion Dynasty? This is your favorite dreaded Israelite, the man, the myth, and the legend, Mr. JB Zion. Y'all, show me some love, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Zion Dynasty, where yours truly, I'm back in the flesh, about to hit y'all with another banger. All glory, honor, dominion, power, majesty, world without end, to the mighty one of Jacob, the holy one of Israel, the redeemer of the 12 tribes of Zion, the restorer of the dry bones of Ezekiel. Let's go! Yerubab and Ephraim of the tribe of Joseph. All praises, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. And first I gotta say peace, love, Israelite power to all my Israelite kings and queens, all my Israelite brothers and sisters, the nation above all nations, the world without end, the chosen elect of Zion, the precious jewels of the Most High. I got to tell you, peace and blessings to each and every one of y'all. I do this for y'all. I do this for the Most High's work, the greatest work that will ever be done on this earth, the resurrection of his jewels, his heirlooms, his chosen. Let's go, Zion. But not just y'all. I gotta say peace, love, blessings, Israelite power, world to come power to all of the sojourners of Zion, all those that support this work, the resurrection of the dry bones of Ezekiel, the redeemer of God's people. I gotta say blessing to y'all for pinning your necks on the chopping block of truth. All of those Gentiles not lost in the goon squad sauce madness.
That's what the Israelite talking about. Well, you know, Israel don't know where we, whosoever will, let them come.
Hey, yo, y'all Israel now. Oh, y'all black folks, so y'all Jews, we was kings. Oh, y'all think y'all is Jews, now you Jewish.
And legalism and, these Israelites trying to turn us back to the law of Moses. And neither Jew nor Greek, world without end, that don't matter. Just talking about whosoever will call upon the name of Christ will be saved. For God so loved the world. Well, JB, we ain't saying he didn't came, we just saying he was rainbow. He came for all colors. Don't nobody really know what he looked like.
They saying, well, you can't use Deuteronomy 28.
Even though it says we're gonna go into a country as swift as the eagle flies.
Oh no, you can't use that.
Even though it says we're gonna have a yoke of iron around our neck, you can't use that. That's been fulfilled. Even though it says you're gonna go into slavery again on slave cargo ships, oh, that's already been fulfilled. And I'm like, Negro, to lay down your life, to support y'all's people. Understand, the Most High told Abraham, I will bless those that bless thee and curse those that curse thee. So welcome back to the channel, family. We are about to hit it. Greetings to everybody, including those that's on here to spy, because we about to deal with this spirit, y'all. This is almost a follow-up to the last video that we talked about. In that video, we went over the entire identity crisis. Y'all check that video out of who are we as a people. Going into the hidden truth of our history when you look at all the major black power ideologies that historically they all was founded on Israel. Oh my God, I've been trying to tell y'all, and y'all gotta understand what the purpose of that was. The purpose of us going through that was to prove that the devil is in the detail. When you study history, there has been no power but the mighty one of Jacob, the Holy One of Israel, that has inspired the founding of all of these different groups, y'all. We looked at the Moorish Zion Temple. We looked at the Moorish Science Temple that Master Richelieu was the founder of, who taught that we were Moorish Israelites, the so-called black, two continent slaps, Moorish Israelites that were banished out of Al-Andalus, that were banished out of Iberian Spain in 1492. We know the history that the Moors ruled from 711 CE to 1492 when they were banished by the Christian European Edomite white people because of our culture, because of Torah, because we weren't Christian, because we named our kids Hebrew names, because we kept Shabbat, because we refused to eat the unclean thing. They got tired of us and they thought we were going to infiltrate the whole world. Oh my God, but it's going to happen anyway. So they banished us out of there. So family, the purpose of that video was to go after the lost sheep. A lot of our people, y'all understand, are lost in a lot of different trains of thought because we don't know history. Y'all, where there is not communication, the people perish. Understand? Well, I'm gonna drop a nugget for y'all. When we look in the scriptures, when we look at Adam and Eve, it wasn't until a serpent exploited the relationship of Adam and Eve that we see the fall.
Well, JB, how did that happen? JB, how did that happen?
I'm gonna explain. If Adam had a properly, I'm gonna deal with it. If Adam had a properly relayed the message to Eve about what the Most High expected, the serpent would have went to the weaker vessel. He would not have been able to deceive her. That means communication is the foundation for any relationship. Y'all understand? And us as a people, we do not sit down and talk. Who are we? What is our culture? What is our heritage? How can we come together? How can we support black businesses? How can we take some of our bright people, infiltrate the system? Some of our prophets, have them doing this role. You gotta sit down and have that conversation. We are the most disenfranchised and separated people on the face of earth. Now we're living in the greatest awakening in human history with the Most High breathing life. You gotta understand, for the dry bones to come together, y'all gotta understand, the Most High had to breathe his spirit and the joints were coming back together. The skin, the glory was covering them again. The joints coming together is symbolic of us, the infrastructure of all of these black power ideologies and idioms coming together under the resounding history of us being the Israelites. So y'all don't get lost in that last video. We all know we're Israelites, but what a lot of people don't know is a lot of these black power movements, the Nation of Islam included, came from a foundation of us being the Israelites. We know that Fareed Muhammad, who was originally Wallace Ford, was one of the chief master students of Master Richelieu. Fareed Muhammad, as well as Noble Drew Ali, these proteges of Master Richelieu, founded the Moorish Science Temple and founded the Nation of Islam respectively. So that means that the Nation of Islam, the Moors, all came from a man who said we were Israelites, Master Richelieu with the Moorish Zion Temple. If only we researched, if only we sat down and said, wait, this is the common thread between every advancement made for our people was off the history of us being the biblical Israelites. Let's go. And that's the only way that the Most High is going to restore us. Y'all got to understand the power of the Most High. He said, okay, y'all don't believe in your heritage. You don't want to guard your way of life. You want to be like the Greeks? You want to be like the heathens? You want your sausage, egg, and cheese biscuits? You want to fight in the gladiator games? I mean, throwing touchdown passes? I mean, putting the ball in the hoop? You want to be just like them and forsake your fringes, forsake your beard, forsake your Hebraic Torah and your language, the language of your forefathers, the noblemen of the earth. You want to forsake that to assimilate and be like everybody else? I'm gonna turn you over to that thing. And that's what happened, family. And now the only way for us to come together and become that nation, that world without end, is for us to come under the umbrella of your history, where our Father is waiting and said, I knew you would be here. Oh my God. I knew you would have to come right back to me, right back to your heritage. The hearts of the fathers back to the children turning back to their ancestors and their history. So family, we are Israelites. We are the Moorish Israelites that ruled the earth at one point, and we're gonna do it again in the day of the Most High. I'm trying to tell y'all, that's who we are. So in this video, family, we're gonna deal, it's a piggyback off of that, to show y'all why I did what I did, why I went through with that video. And a lot of y'all already know and see the heartbeat. Our people are afraid to have the conversation. There is not one black person on this earth that I couldn't have a conversation with. Not one, based on whatever they could believe in. They could be an atheist. Y'all don't understand. There are atheists a part of Zion Dynasty that said, JB, the way that history come out, oh my God. And y'all gotta say this, if y'all want to support the channel, I'm gonna put that Cash App up, I'm gonna put that P.O. Box up, I forgot to mention that. Also, the Sefer giveaway, it is coming up this Sabbath. We're gonna announce our first round of giveaways, and we probably do this weekly, every 2 weeks, that kind of thing, where we just pull a new batch of, there's so many of y'all and that kind of thing. So y'all comment about that Sefer. Also, if you want to support, I'm gonna put that Cash App up. So back to the conversation. So your boy JP has no problem talking to anybody. A part of this family, we got Jehovah Witnesses Israelites, we got Moorish Israelites, those that practice Islam Israelites, atheist Israelites, Christian Israelites, Torah only, Old Testament only Israelites. I'm telling y'all, truth unites the whole batch. I'm trying to tell y'all, because we are the people of the Most High Yah. And through this channel, I'm telling y'all, and I thank y'all for the support, because we could not do this without y'all at all, right? So the purpose of this is to go into Judas and the Black Messiah, because I'm telling y'all, there is a satanic spirit. It is the very spirit of the Antichrist. I'm gonna let you know, the spirit of the Antichrist is the spirit of J. Edgar Hoover. The spirit of the Antichrist is the spirit of Herod. The spirit of the Antichrist is the spirit of Pharaoh. This is an ancient spirit that comes against the king that is to come out of our people perpetually, not just ending with Yeshua, not just ending with Moses. Any hope, because y'all don't understand the power and the DNA of Zion, that in every generation there is going to be a voice that in every is perpetual. The Most High made an everlasting covenant with our people. So any spirit that look like Yahusha that comes on the scene, there is a spirit set up to choke that thing out. So before we go too deep, family, I'm gonna show y'all a clip on this spirit that comes against the unity of the people. That's what Zion Dynasty is about, uniting our people under the umbrella of being the Moorish Israelites, the Israelites, the children of Jacob, the children of Zion, the descendants of the 12 tribes, those West African and Sub-Saharan tribes that we were taken from in the transatlantic are Israelites, and unifying our people that might be scattered in all madness. There is an opposite spirit, the spirit of Pharaoh, the spirit of Herod, the spirit of J. Edgar Hoover, that doesn't want our people unified, that doesn't want a leader preaching this type of message. Let's check that thing out. Let's get it, Zion Dynasty style.
Like the masses, I was in awe when I first laid eyes on all the things you are. I heard that speech. I knew we'd make noise. I just thought it'd be in the streets.
The Black Panthers are the single greatest threat to our national security. Our counterintelligence program must prevent the rise of a Black Messiah.
You're looking at 18 months for the stolen car, 5 years for impersonating a federal officer, or you can go home. What do you want? Get close to Hampton.
The Black Panthers are forming a rainbow coalition of oppressed brothers and sisters of every color.
Neutralize him by any means necessary.
America's on fire right now. And until that fire is extinguished, nothing else means a damn thing. Imagine what we could accomplish together. We can heal this whole city.
You ain't tell me it was gonna be like this. These ain't no terrorists.
We got a rat, man.
Does anybody else know about me?
No one knows your identity.
Are you sure?
We educate, we nurture, we feed, and we lobby. Perhaps we're here for more than just war with these bodies. We scream, and we shout, and we live by this anthem. But it's power to the people really worth their ransom.
When I dedicated my life to people, I dedicated my life.
You get to go out there and talk about dying a revolutionary death because you don't have another person growing inside your body.
Anywhere there's people, there's power.
So family, y'all got to understand, I hope that movie, if y'all have not seen Judas and the Black Messiah, it's on, I think it's HBO or is it Amazon? Somebody comment that, right? Y'all check that thing out. I'm telling you, there are so many prophetic implications. First, let's look at J. Edgar Hoover. Now, a lot of y'all have pointed out, well, we heard that J. Edgar Hoover might have been a Negro, or he might have had black blood. Oh God, y'all don't know how powerful that is. When you look at the scriptures, let's talk about Herod a little bit. After the Greeks, and when the Romans came to power, the Romans put their people in different key positions in the land of Judea. Now this, y'all gonna understand, you gonna see the biblical Yeshua. You gonna see him today. If you ain't, oh man, I'm telling y'all, if you don't know who Yahushua is, you finna find out. Let's go into it. So the Romans put puppet leaders in Judea. So they had centurions. They had Roman soldiers that was standing as outposts to make sure that there wasn't no rebel rouser, there were no zealots, there were no freedom riders, no freedom fighters, none of those Israelites that are trying to take back the land of Zion. They had Roman Edomites watching that thing. Not just that, but they had Roman spiritual leaders. The Pharisees and the Sadducees that we learn from Josephus are not Israelites by birth. The Essenes, the Nazarenes, these Judean groups were bloodline Maccabeans, bloodline Judeans going back to the tribe of Judah, going back to Bethlehem, Ephrati. These were the true Israelites, but you had religious leaders that were put in power by the Roman European government to watch over the people. This is where Herod comes in. Herod was a chocolate Edomite. He was actually an Edomite paternally, but he married the Maccabean princesses. Y'all look at that history. The book of Maccabees sets that up, as well as the Gospels, right? But you got to know the book of Maccabees, which is in the Apocrypha, but they took these books out. So Herod was an Edomite deep down inside that married and had an affinity for Judean princesses and had a dynasty of Herodians that looked like Judeans but had the heart of Esau. Y'all got to understand that spirit of blending in with our people and having an affinity. It's a wicked spirit. J. Edgar Hoover was also said to had some Negro in his blood. I'm just trying to tell y'all. But at the same time was used by the infrastructure of white supremacy to be able to watch Zion, watch Israel. And a lot of y'all bash J. Edgar Hoover. I gotta tell y'all, J. Edgar Hoover didn't do that stuff by himself. Y'all got to know what I'm telling you. The powers that be, the beast system, that second Rome, America, the European alliance, NATO, all have conspired, we saw that in Psalms 83, to keep the remembrance of Israel from ever coming back on the earth. But they don't know y'all like we do. They don't know that it's inevitable, right? So J. Edgar Hoover created a COINTELPRO agenda. Y'all check out the COINTELPRO video, where he weeded out any potential resurrection of Israel, any black messiah. And I showed y'all this, right now. Let's check this out. I showed y'all this in the FBI file of Malcolm X. Now in it goes into, I'm gonna put that on the screen. It goes into the agenda of white supremacy under COINTELPRO, under J. Edgar Hoover, under the United States government, right? Because they believe that the greatest threat to the American nation was Negroes coming together. I gotta let that just sit right there. I need to say that one more time. The greatest threat to the future of this nation, the future of America being a superpower, was our people. You talking about the Negroes? The ones on the street, slanging dope. The ones killing each other. The ones that's like, man, I just want to get on TikTok, man. I'll get on Facebook all day. America fears that. Y'all got to hear what I'm saying. Because they know more than what you know, Negro. Our people don't read. We don't know that creation fights for our people. The sun fights for our people. It stood still for Joshua. Oh my God. We don't understand that time itself is all contingent upon one family. The family of the divine creator. His natural heirlooms. The jewels of heaven. Even the so-called Negro. The seed of Zion. And if we only knew who we were and came together, that would end the Gentile rulership over. Like a dream. We'll wake up from it. Y'all gotta hear what I'm saying. So I go through this to let you know that they knew that we were the greatest threat to their empire. So they took precautions. They set up COINTELPRO. They said that the purpose of COINTELPRO was to prevent the rise of a black messiah. And this is where you get into potential leaders. And y'all don't know how deep Europeans, how much strategy went into them keeping us from coming together and keeping a black messiah. They was killing off a Dr. King. They was killing off a Malcolm X. They killed Fred Hampton and Judas and the black messiah. Through a Judas spirit, there's nothing new under the sun. Our people have been going through this same cycle until the Most High breaks it once and for all. But they've been doing this, taking out our leaders. Now I'm going to show y'all some clips on how our leaders thought and why COINTELPRO was set up. First, we're going to start with Marcus Garvey. Let's check that clip out.
You had Herod, an Edomite, and his dynasty. Herod's ruling, killing any potential threat, any potential messiah.
As my work has only just begun, and future generations shall have in their hands the guide by which they shall know the sins of the 20th century. I know, and I know you too believe in time when we shall wait patiently for 200 years if need be to face our enemies through our posterity. When my enemies are satisfied, in life I shall come back, or in death even to serve you as I served before. In life I shall be the same, in death I shall be a terror to the
Y'all don't know how, y'all don't understand how powerful that clip is. Marcus Garvey says, in life I'm gonna be a flame, and in death I'm gonna be a terror. What is he saying? This is perpetual, baby. It can't be stopped. And every generation, that spirit of Hamashiach is gonna have and raise up in every generation. That's why you see in Exodus chapter 17 that the Most High says he would war with Amalek in every generation. Ezekiel 35 and 36 that says that Esau would have a perpetual hatred for Jacob. This is an eternal battle against Jacob that will give birth to Solomon, the builder of the temple that rules the world in Torah, that rules the world like if Big Mama had sugar and Aunt Sally had Kool-Aid, the whole village was drinking the glass. A battle from that ideology with Esau, who would give birth to Vespasian, that would rule with a critical race theory-based agenda. These two ideologies would clash throughout the test of time, and the Most High in every generation would raise up a potential threat. Now, if we look at that FBI file, y'all gotta understand, it says that, okay, we see Stokely Carmichael could be this, Malcolm X, he's the martyr of this movement. Elijah Muhammad could be a candidate, but he's a little bit too old. They watched leaders, and we don't know how early they started this stuff, y'all. They tapped their phones. They watched them at an early state. They watched a potential. They knew the rhythm of heaven well enough to spy out a potential man-child rising up. Y'all got to know what I'm saying. Y'all got to grab hold of this thing. Now, I'm going to show y'all a clip by Fred Hampton and the way that he thought to show you the contrary ideologies of our people. When we rule the earth, it's a different mindset compared to the European power construct. Let's check that out.
I'm the deputy chairman of the state of Illinois Black Panther Party, Fred Hampton. And a lot of people don't understand the Black Panther Party's relationship with white mother country radicals. A lot of people don't even understand that word that they're refusing a lot. But what we're saying is that there are white people in the mother country that are for the same types of things that we are for stimulating revolution in the mother country. And we said that we work with anybody, form coalition with anybody that has revolution on their mind. We're not a racist organization because we understand that racism is an excuse used for capitalism, and we know that racism is a byproduct of capitalism. We know that racism is a byproduct of capitalism. It's a byproduct of capitalism.
Y'all got to, okay. Let me break this thing down a little bit. Our people don't understand that Jacob and Esau have two different worldviews. The way we rule is two different things. America is founded on the 1619 Project, is founded with a critical race theory-based society. What does that mean? That no matter what they try to do, the foundation of this nation is what it is. It's based off slavery. There always has to be a scapegoat. This is where the construct of race comes from. Race is, like Fred Hampton said, a byproduct of a capitalistic society. Capitalism rules by a people having privilege and a people that don't. This is just how it gets down. There's always going to be some agenda, the LGBT or the black versus the white, just to keep the money rolling. I got to tell y'all, there's always a scapegoat to be able to have haves and have-nots in a capitalistic society. In capitalism, capital lies. That means that whatever invention I can come up with, a fast food chain that's going to kill millions of people, whatever I do to get my money and be privileged, that's what I do. There's no system of checks and balances. It's a free enterprise, free for all. Do what you got to do to get paid. The land of the free, home of the brave. This is capitalism. This is America. This is the European model of Edom. Understand? Now, our people have an entirely different mindset. You would say, you would compare it with a socialist or a communist kind of mindset, but I'm not going to compare it to that because our people are trying to enact that in another country. You were never meant to go assimilation. You were never meant to be that. The Most High always intended for Israel to be Kadesh, to be set apart, to be what we say holy, apart from all of Babylon. We were meant to rule in a family construct as a nation to ourselves, as an example to the other nations. Now, Fred Hampton was trying to implement that family style of government into America, which they saw as the greatest threat to American security. Why? Because it's a revolution. It's a total change of the garb of how America and Esau gets down. Oh, he trying to have social programs and trying to feed people. Y'all saw the Black Panther Party were feeding children. They were teaching children. They were supplying money for people that couldn't pay their bills. They were trying to take care of the low people. The same mission YESHUA said. Oh, y'all gotta hear what I'm saying. Yahusha said that the greatest among you, the chief among you, shall be servants. He washed the feet of the disciples, y'all. This is the kind of spirit we need to have. This is why I tell my people, we have to be an example. Now, Fred Hampton was trying to take that family message. Like I told y'all, if Big Mama, all Big Mama had to do is your job to have sugar. And at Cora, you got to just have the Kool-Aid. But everybody gonna be able to drink. That kind of mindset is a biblical family model. Understand, the Bible is an African, Hebraic, Israelite culture, a way of life of everybody bringing our resources together and distribution being made. It's the opposite of capitalism. I'm gonna prove that thing to y'all, and we're gonna go through these precepts. Let's start with Psalms chapter 133. Let's get it. All praises to the Most High Yah. And the word of the Most High reads in verse 1 of Psalms chapter 133, behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. Verse 2, it is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirts of his garments, as the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For there the Most High Yah commanded the blessing, even life forevermore. All praises to the Most High Yah. Now let's break that thing down. David is saying, oh, how good and how pleasant it is. The Father's heart is for his people to come together in unity. Now let's check this. It compares it to the anointing oil that flowed down Aaron's head into his beard down to the skirt of his garment. What is this saying? We looked at in the last video.
that we as a nation of people are many members but one body. Y'all received that thing. The Moors, they taught that we were Moors. Israel is showing the complete revelation now, but even in part. But this is an end time phenomenon. From early on, you had the Moors teaching these. You had Israelites saying just the Israelite component, not connecting the Moorish component. You had your black power people that were all about black power, but they didn't have an identity associated with it. Then you had the Christians that said Yahusha, Yeshua, Jesus is the key, but Yahusha is. But you see how you had different puzzle pieces throughout history, and it's only now that we're connecting all of this together in unity. That's why I told y'all there are many different pieces to this puzzle of black liberation, of Israelite power, of the world without end, of Zion getting back to our land, right? So we see that when we come together, that anointing from the Most High Yah, the power of our Father, is able to flow through every part of us when we come together. That's how the Most High blesses that thing. The Most High, y'all hear what I'm saying, does not bless dysfunction. He does not bless disunity. That's why the Gentiles are able to exist. I'm telling y'all, I got to expose this spirit. There's a spirit, and I know a lot of y'all, hi, my frenemies, that are in the live chat, that are in the comments, and I got to call them out to rebuke y'all because I love y'all. I love even y'all because we're a family, and I got to call that thing out. There's a spirit that says, oh, well, you know, this brother's not saying this right, and this brother's not saying, well, it's Yeshua versus Yahusha, and it's Yeshua versus Jesus, and it's... I'm gonna let y'all check your spirit. The scripture says, try the spirit by the spirit. You got Israel that are downtrodden, that are getting oppressed on their jobs, that are just looking for hope. Y'all gotta hear what I'm saying. And we will allow Satan to use us and to divide the family, which is an abomination to the Most High, over things that don't even need to be discussed right now. Y'all gotta hear me. Some stuff needs to be first place versus second place. We need to love each other first. That's why all these camps in Israel exist. I got to call that thing out. You got 50 different Israelite camps. What make y'all different from the Christian church? I got to call that thing out. Y'all talk about them being demons because denominations. But look at all the ones we got within our nation. Division over simplicity. But then we want to rule the earth. The Most High ain't blessing no divided nation. A kingdom divided cannot stand. We see that as soon as our people started beefing, as soon as Solomon's son said, man, I ain't studying Northern Kingdom, I'm going to increase these taxes. As soon as the kingdom split, Assyria said, them jokers simple. Let's go get them. And they went into that thing and took our people over because of a lack of unity. So when you come with an ideology, or when you come with this tenet, oh, well, I found this out and I found this out, make sure it's tempered with love and that it is not used as a stumbling block, or you don't try to hem people up and cause division based on your perspective. I'm telling you, I got to bring this thing out. Let's go to another precept. So we see in Proverbs chapter 6 that it ain't playing no games with it. I'm going to deal with this shade. I'm going to deal with it, family. Let's go down. In Proverbs chapter 6 verse 12, it says, a naughty person, a wicked man, walketh with a froward mouth. He winketh with his eyes. He speaks with his feet. He teaches with his fingers. Frowardness is in his heart. He devises mischief continually. He sows discord. I got to deal with that spirit. Y'all know the whole shade spirit. I don't know if y'all know about it. Where you're around people and they want to diss this one. So they say, you know, let's say this person got a red dress on. They'll say, well, you know, I just hate the color red, you know. And I've never been the person to wear a dress, you know, that kind of thing. But I like it on you. All of that wickedness, I got to deal with it. That's the stuff that got our people in captivity. When we do that kind of stuff, and I got to call that spirit out the way it is. It's the spirit of Satan. It's the Most High. Detest that thing. We're going to keep reading. So in Proverbs chapter 6, that same chapter, in verse 16, it says, these 6 things does the Most High Yah hate. I got to tell y'all, I ain't make this up. Yes, 7 are an abomination unto him. That means when you complete all of these things they finna name, the Most High's finna name, this is an abomination. Verse 17, a proud look. Oh my goodness. A lying tongue, over there whispering and backbiting and looking all, rolling your eyes at one another. Hands that shed innocent blood, the black on black crime, are people hating one another. Verse 18, A heart that devises wicked imaginations. Oh, we gonna get that, Negro. Oh, they think they perfect. Oh, they trying to keep commandments. Oh, they think they something. They think they Israel. Oh, why she got to have that car? Why she got to have that house? Oh, we gonna, oh, well, they think they better than something. Feet that be swift into running into trouble, running into mischief, running into wicked devices against your own people. Let's go to verse 19. A false witness that speaks lies, and he that sows discord among brethren. I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all. If you got an ought against any of your people, you go to them privately. You don't call them out in public because that's a wicked, foul spirit. If you got a problem, you go to them privately. If somebody comes to you, this just keeping the house in order. I got to deal with our family. We got to have family business right now. If you hear somebody come to you telling you something about one of your people, you don't know that that's true, you do not receive that thing, and you check them and say, don't come to me with no detrimental mess about somebody else. I don't know what you're saying. I'll go to them and talk to them myself if that what you're saying is true. But don't come to me for future notice with no mess or no drama. This is the type of unity that the Most High wants his people to have. One mind, one heart, one spirit, slow to wrath, slow to mischief, slow to getting into wicked devices, slow to throwing shade at things that shine, slow to envy, slow to wrath, not being puffed up, not saying, oh, who they think they is. All of that is an abomination to the Most High. I ain't playing with that thing. When we see in the Old Testament, when they were building the tabernacle, all the people gave of one mind, one heart, one spirit. We see in the book of Joshua in chapter 6, when the walls of Jericho fell, that they all shouted with one voice as one man and went around the city of Jericho, and it fell because the Most High operates in unity. That's how the spirit of the Most High, even the Ruach HaKodesh, can flow down through the members of the body and supply every member with what they need. That comes from unity. We see the early church operate in a similar way in Acts chapter 4. This is a social communal mindset of the early church. The apostles, they took all of the increase that came in. Everybody that had land, that had wealth, they sold it and laid it at the apostles' feet. And what did the apostles do? Distribution was made to every man according to as he had need. America ain't built like that. America is built off taking free slave labor of Zion, the children of Israel, and they not getting nothing, and white folks living off the increase. That's a wicked, abominable spirit. The Most High and Israel, our family, we rule by taking increase and we distribute it to every person. And we ain't gonna let no poor be among us. Well, JB, you know the New Testament say the poor you gonna have among you always. Why did Yahushua say that? Because he knew their hearts. He knew how wicked our people were. He said, we always gonna have some of this stuff going on because y'all refuse to love one another after one heartbeat, after one mind, after one spirit, that if one of us is down, all of us is down. That's why to all the Gentiles I gotta deal with. A lot of y'all know these white folks that say stuff like, well, Black Lives Matter, that's derogatory. That's hate speech. You know, all lives matter. Let me do you one better. If all lives matter, if I take a bowl of fruit and I say all the fruit matters, if I take the orange out, I can say the orange matters because the orange was a part of the fruit, right? So why are you offended by Black Lives Matter? Because you want to hide behind a willful ignorance to not acknowledge the evil that exists towards this people. I got to deal with it because we show commercials about the tiger being an endangered species and, you know, help save the tiger, help save the tiger. Does that mean I hate lions? Does that mean I hate dolphins? No, but we have a crisis on our hands that affects the animal species at large. By dealing with the tiger, we're saving all of the animals because there is a crisis affecting this species that is intricate to the entire ecosystem of the Most High Yah. If you love all people, then you shouldn't have no problem with standing up for the oppressed of the earth. Now, we already know how Esau gonna do what they gonna do, but I'm speaking this to y'all that can think for a minute. Some of the Gentiles that can understand what I'm saying and cling to Jacob. Now, let's go to another precept. I ain't playing no games. In Jeremiah chapter 32, beginning at verse 39, and I will give them one heart and one way, that they may fear me forever, for the good of them and for their children and of their children after them. All praises. The Most High is all about one spirit, one mind, and a unity amongst his people, and that spirit being passed on from generation to generation. Let's look at another precept. In Ezekiel chapter 11, in verse 19, it also says, and I will give them one heart and I will put a new spirit within you, and I will take away the stony heart out of that hard heart, that bitterness, that saltiness, and will give them an heart of flesh. All praises to the Most High. Let's look at the next verse. That they may walk in my statutes and keep mine ordinances and do them, and they shall be my people, and I will be their God. Now, family, this is why we do what we do. We do this, the channel, make it fun and all these things to be able to reach all of our people. I teach the vast history of our people going into the African continent, being Moors, being Israelites, to unify our people and bring all these trains of thought under one umbrella of Zion, under the 12 tribes of Israel, so that we can walk as a family and we can get all the kinks out as a family. But some of y'all trying to scale and skin the fish without having a net. You ain't even in the boat yet. You ain't even in the water yet, but you're trying to scale and skin fish. First, let's get into the boat. Let's get some bait. Let's get some stuff. I'm dropping some nuggets for some of y'all, especially y'all teachers out there. Get some bait, you know, do this thing, draw the people in, love the people, and don't try to divide them before you even have us unified, right? That people are going to be defensive for that thing. People are going to be standoffish to that thing. First, we have to unify as a people. So this entire mindset, family, is Zion. It's how our people get down. And the sad thing is, family, this was seen as a threat to the American government, the European power construct, because we know Satan and the Most High cannot dwell in the same house together. I got to tell y'all, light and darkness can't exist at the same time. We saw this in the Legends of the Jews, where it was prophesied to Rebekah that two nations would be in your womb, and they could not exist in the same estate. That when one is up, the other one's down, and when the other's up, the other one's down, vice versa. This goes into the European model. That's why COINTELPRO was set up, because the way we think about unifying all people, seeing about the oppressed people, right? These people don't got clean drinking water. The way we think as Israelites is contrary to the powers that be. It's sad. And they come up with every excuse to be like, well, it's not feasible. Well, you don't understand how complicated it is. If people still don't have clean drinking water, that should be a priority. Put everything off to the side and let's deal with that. But America's trying to police all the other countries when your house ain't in order, bread. We got to deal with it. So I'm going to show y'all a clip. Now, this is where I'm going to show y'all a clip of Josephus and how the great links that this J. Edgar Hoover, this spirit to keep our people's way of government from coming to power, to keep a black messiah, this spirit that killed Malcolm X, that killed Dr. King. I'm going to show y'all how it started in Egypt under Pharaoh. Let's check that clip out. So now let's go to Josephus, the most prominent Judean historian probably known to man. And we're going to look at the spirit that gives these nations the boldness to fight the living Elohim Alahayim. Let's look at it. So in Josephus, Antiquities, chapter 9, section 2, it says, while the affairs of the Hebrews were in this condition, there was this occasion that offered itself to the Egyptians. There was a way that the Egyptians were offered a way out. Now, we looked in the book of Jasher, the hidden apocryphal book, that the reason the Egyptians took special notice was because when Esau, now this was Zepho united all of Amalek and all of Europe to fight against our forefathers while they were in Egypt. Egypt, they was fighting, they was turning, they was like swing, 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 swing. And they looked over and they saw Jacob taking jokers, body slamming them, knocking them off the post. So the Egyptians over there fighting like, what the world? And they see Israel, 40 of them, pit thousands of them to death. And Egypt, they run. They leave the Israelites. They say, and when they get back to Egypt, the Egyptians like, we gotta have a talk. We gotta deal with the Hebrews. Them boys like LeBron James, Deontay Wilder, Mike Tyson, them boys legend. We gotta do something. We have to take some special counsel, because if they rise up again, if they can do that with that amount of folks, they can tear us out the blue flame. We got to do something about this. So Egypt says we got to deal with these cats, and we got to deal wisely. So we see in our regular King James in Exodus chapter 1 that that's when Pharaoh, the Pharaoh that didn't have no respect for Ephraim or Joseph, our forefather, he didn't have no respect for that generation of Israelites. He said, we're going to have to do something about these jokers. Kill every last one of their man babies, throw them in the water. what was that, Pharaoh, sir? Pit them in the water. Pit them in the Nile. Kill every last one of them. And don't ask me again. But this history goes into detail in Josephus. We see more history of this in Josephus' Antiquity. So let's continue. So, a specific occasion offered itself to the Egyptians, which made them more solicitous for the extinction of our nation. So on top of them wanting to kill us because they saw how we got down in war, something else happened that made it worse. Let's read it. One of those sacred scribes, who are very sagacious in foretelling future events, truly told the king that about this time there would a child be born to Yasharal, who, if he were reared, would bring the Egyptians' dominion low, and would raise the Israelites, that he would excel all men in virtue, and obtain a glory that would be remembered through all ages. Which thing was so feared by the king that, according to this man's opinion, he said, oh, heck no. He commanded that they should cast every man-child that was born to the Israelites into the river to destroy them. This is in Josephus, Antiquities, Book 9, Section 2. Y'all read that. So family, this is an ancient spirit. This is a devil that not just fears our people, not just fears the Messiah and us getting back to the land, but fears what we are meant to represent, family. We are supposed to represent a family above all nations by the way we love one another, the way we unify, the way we're proud, even though we got 12 tribes and we're proud about, man, I'm Judah, I'm Benjamin, I'm Levi, or I'm Simeon, I'm Reuben, I'm Ephraim. Even though we have all this uniqueness, just like light is one but has many hues, so likewise we have a unity that inspires all other families to strive to be like our community. That's what we're meant to be, Zion. And us as Israelites, going through the slavery we went through, going through the alligator bait, going through all the oppression that we faced, should be more motivated than any other people to unify. We have everything to gain because we're oppressed in this era, and the Most High used that thing to inspire us to come together. But this ancient spirit, that spirit of Pharaoh, that spirit of J. Edgar Hoover, tries to kill a message like that because of greed, because of capitalism, because of this European, I gotta call it out, this European power construct wants to have a people that are 1% that make more money than the whole 99%. They are not concerned about people being oppressed. If anything, they're proud that drugs are in the community. They're proud that people are killing one another so that they can keep their money. I got to tell y'all. Now I'm gonna show y'all a clip of what this spirit has tried to do by taking out our leaders. I'm gonna show y'all a Malcolm X clip. Let's check that out.
Romans killing riotous groups that are rising up. As I turned around quickly, and the next thing I saw was Malcolm falling back in a dead faint.
My mother threw herself over her babies, and she yelled out, "They're killing my husband."
I heard shots, and I saw people crawling on the floor. And so I got down too. Then when I was looking out, and I saw someone look in amazement to the front, I knew they had shot my husband.
He sustained one shot in the lower right chin, and the other 6 hit him in the chest and body.
I looked down at him and I said, he's going to die. I kept saying to myself, he's going to die, he's going to die.
How many immediately? No, he wasn't dead immediately, but expired very shortly thereafter.
So family, when I tell y'all the Most High is going to bring judgment on this power construct, right? Because it's not just about us being free, but the whole earth is yearning for the sons of Yasharal, the heirlooms of the Most High Yah, the precious stones of heaven, the 12 tribes to be restored under a family message, y'all. We got to be about our people. We have to love one another. We have to stop throwing shade and stop trying to divide over the biggest nonsense, right? The nations are depending on Zion. We are the saviors of this earth. By us coming together and showing the nations, this is how love really is. This is how, it was a scene in the Malcolm X movie where Denzel Washington snapped his fingers and the whole nation behind him turned to the left. At one point, he just moved his finger like this and they all turned. That type of unity. I'm talking about a unity that be like, man, that is a mighty army. That is a mighty nation. This is the way we need to make love the priority. We need to say we are Israel, we are a family, and we need to treat each other right. The Christian church wasn't gonna give us that kind of message. They told us, well, we don't matter, you know, we Gentiles, you know, none of that stuff matters. But they didn't want to deal with the issues that were plaguing our community because a lot of them were afraid, y'all. They were afraid to deal with race. A lot of that older generation, not all of them, because we got a lot of them on this channel that are elders worthy of double honor. But a lot of them have that mindset that, man, if we do that, they're going to drop a bomb on us like Black Wall Street and Tulsa. Man, we can't come together. You know, the white man got too much this and that, and we ain't going to preach about black. We ain't going to talk about us being Israel. And we like, well, pastors, leaders, bishops, why y'all don't want, look at all this history. He's black but beautiful, and his arms and feet the color of brass in a furnace. Yo, you can't deal with that. You might make white folks upset. You know, we got one white member out of 15,000 black folks. I'm telling y'all, our people come out of a fearful state, but we don't understand. It's chariots on the roof. Oh my God, that there is more that is fighting for us, O Zion. If we come together, love one another relentlessly, and don't let fear get in the way, because we don't understand. The trees will fight for you. The sun will stand still until we have victory over our enemies. That greater is he that is for the 12 tribes of YESHUA than he that is in this world. There's nothing Esau can do to stop us other than get our minds to think that we don't have any power. Get our minds to have discord and the Black Panthers are against the young lords, and to get our people divided. That's the only hope the Gentiles have, to keep us not knowing who we are and to keep us bickering amongst one another, because they know we are our own worst enemy. We are the only ones that can stop this world without him. At any moment, if all of Israel just said, man, we the people, man, we going back to the land. Chariots will shoot lasers down and kill every white person. I'm telling y'all, there'll be nothing that the nations could do to stop that thing if we just had that mentality. So family, I hope y'all got something out of this. Y'all take notes and y'all rewatch this thing and share it, like it to everybody y'all know. We gotta come together, O Zion, as the ancient Israelites, the biblical princes, the biblical princesses, the kings and queens of the earth, the gods of this earth, because we got next, family. All praises be to the Most High, y'all. Yoruba B'nai Ephraim of the tribe of Joseph. So with that, family, peace, love, blessings, and Israelite power. Let's come together. 12 tribes, one nation. I love you all with the love of the Messiah. Shalom. All praises.